Imagine a place where the only thing colder than the Pacific Current is the silence. A place where you can hear the laughter of city life drifting across the water, but you're forbidden from ever reaching it. This is the Rock. Most people know it as a prison, but its story started as a sanctuary for birds and ended as a graveyard for dreams. Today, we go inside the most expensive mistake in American history. In 1775, it was just Isla de los Alcatraces, the island of the Pelicans. By the gold rush of 1849, the U.S. government saw a jagged tooth in the mouth of the bay and turned it into a fortress. It wasn't built to keep people in, it was built to keep invaders out. But the island had a darker destiny. By 1907, Alcatraz had become a military prison, holding soldiers and federal detainees. Its isolated location made it perfect for keeping troublemakers away from the mainland, and its steep, rocky cliffs and freezing waters gave it natural, lethal security. By the 1930s, the U.S. federal government decided to turn it into something the world had never seen, a maximum security federal penitentiary. In 1934, America was at war with the mob. Al Capone and Machine Gun Kelly were running the streets. The government needed a symbol of absolute control. They didn't just build a prison, they built a psychological weapon. Guard towers that never slept, reinforced steel cells, and some of the first metal detectors ever used. On Alcatraz, you weren't just an inmate, you were a ghost. Life inside was brutal. Cells were small and damp. Silence was enforced at nearly all times. Privileges were non-existent. Food, clothing, and shelter were your only rights. At its peak, nearly 260 prisoners were held here, with staff almost matching that number to maintain order. Escape was nearly impossible. 36 men tried, 23 were dragged back in chains. 6 were silenced by bullets, 2 drowned. But 5, in June 1962, 3 men carved their way through concrete with spoons and vanished into the fog. Did they drown, or are they still out there? The FBI file remains open. Over the decades, Alcatraz housed America's most notorious criminals. Al Capone traded silk suits for a banjo and a mop. George Machine Gun Kelly spent his days in the laundry room. Robert Stroud, the Birdman of Alcatraz, lived in deep isolation, a genius mind trapped in stone. Their presence made the island a symbol of the government's toughest justice. The Rock even found fame on the silver screen. From Clint Eastwood's gritty escape to The Rock's high-octane Hollywood version, Alcatraz became larger than life, a prison-turned icon. But The Rock had a weakness: money. Every drop of fresh water, every loaf of bread had to be ferried in. By the 1960s, it cost nearly 3 times as much to operate as any other federal prison. Some joked it would have been cheaper to house these men in luxury hotels. Faced with skyrocketing expenses, the government finally pulled the plug. On March 21, 1963, the keys turned for the last time. The story didn't end with the prisoners. In 1969, 89 indigenous activists occupied the island, claiming it under a century-old treaty. For 19 months, they transformed a symbol of punishment into a beacon for civil rights before being removed in 1971. Their protests captured the nation's attention and reshaped how America viewed Native American rights. Just a year later, in 1972, the island joined the National Park Service, opening to the public in 1973. Today, over 1 million visitors step onto the Rock each year, exploring its prison cells, hearing the echoes of past struggles, and connecting with history firsthand. Tourism generates significant revenue for San Francisco while preserving the island's layered legacy. From a Civil War fort to America's most notorious prison, to a symbol of activism. Though some have proposed reopening it as a working prison, its historic, cultural, and economic importance ensures that Alcatraz remains a monument, a museum, and a mirror of America itself. Have you ever visited Alcatraz? Share your experiences in the comments. And if you haven't had the chance yet, make sure to visit this fascinating piece of history, a place that's more than just a prison. It's a monument to the stories of America. Like, share, and subscribe for more history.